Today, the vast majority of farmers do not eat anything that they produce on their farms. They go to the grocery store just like everybody else. Now, how sad is that?
Yeah.
That we're not, as farmers, we don't even know. Now, obviously I do, because we're very different. We're regenerative in what we do, and we produce a lot of what we eat today again, like when I was growing up. But the vast majority of farmers today, they themselves have no clue what really good, nutrient-dense food tastes like. They are also entrapped and ensnared in the same food cycle, in this highly processed foods and so on and so forth, that every other consumer is ensnared in as well. And
yeah, you said that, farmers, when you grew up, were skinny, and now they're all overweight.
Right. Well, they don't do any. Farmers today, because of our highly specialized equipment, GIS, GPS guided equipment, and so on and so forth. Basically, they're like a truck driver. They're very sedentary, so their butts are seated in the seat of a tractor, a combine, a sprayer, whatever the case may be, for long hours every day, and they're not even having, on many of these tractors and combines today, not even having to physically steer. They're just listening to podcasts or
on autopilot.
There you go, or listening to the radio or whatever. And so the honest truth is, I find that god awful boring. Okay.
Yeah.
And mind numbing to think that you have to farm that way now, because almost all of them have consultants that are provided by major agribusiness. They're called crop consultants. And so what we find is that farmers today are making fewer and fewer of their own decisions. Those decisions are made for them by their lenders, by their suppliers, by their consultants. And their ability to think and to reason about what they're doing and why, their whole decision-making capability has basically been co-opted, and their decisions are being made by others. So even though they take all the risks, they own the land or they lease the land, they have to own the equipment, they have all of this incredible debt, what's happening is that they still are not the key decision makers on their own farms. They may think they are, but in reality, they're not. And so what we're seeing, and I wrote an article about this last year relative to the significant amount of depression and suicide in the farming community. Again, what a lot of consumers may not realize is that depression is rampant in the farming community right now because of the significant financial stress and even environmental stress that's on these farmers. The suicide rate is among the highest of any profession in the world, not just in the U.S., but in the world. So,
and it's also from a health point of view, it's one of the most dangerous professions. Parkinson's rates are extremely high. We know that's very much linked to pesticide and agrochemical use. So there's a lot of health consequences from dealing with all those agrochemicals as well for these farmers.
Oh, the cancer rates have skyrocketed. Neurological disorders have skyrocketed. And then, of course, all types of inflammatory disease due to obesity and just their diet, their daily diet, because again, they're not eating any better than the average consumers.